And last but not least, he says, don't ever say, I'll study when I'm free, because perhaps you'll never become free. Don't say, I'll study Torah whenever I have time. I'll get time, I'll study Torah. He says, don't ever say that. Why? Because maybe you're never going to get time. Maybe you're never going to get time. There was a true story that happened to, unfortunately, to a guy in New York. Rabbi Mizrahi, this is his story. He says there was a young guy that had a lot of drug problems, that he was constantly trying to bring him to seminars. And the first time he tried bringing him, the kid never showed up. Everything was paid for. All he had to do is just bring himself. If he wants to bring some clothes for the weekend, that's it. No money, no nothing. Just come, we'll help you do tshuva. The kid didn't come. After the weekend was over, Rabbi Mizrahi contacted him and says, no, what happened? How come you didn't come? We paid for you. We made sure you had a reserved room, which takes a spot of somebody else. Oh, I'm sorry, Kvod Harav, I'm sorry. Next one I'm going to come. Okay. It's not a seminar every week. It takes months. So a few months pass. He's like, no, you're going to come to this seminar? It's like, this one I'm definitely coming. Same thing happens. He doesn't show up. After the weekend, Rabbi Mizrahi calls him again, knew what happened this time. He goes, no, I'm sorry, this thing happened and that thing happened. A bunch of different excuses of why he didn't come. So the third time, Rabbi Mizrahi is like, okay, this time I'm going to pick you up. And then you're going to come. He's like, you don't have to pick me up. My suitcase is already ready. You don't have to pick me up. I'm going to be there, don't worry. This time I'm not going to fool around. I'm coming this time. Shabbat's about to come in. Rabbi Mizrahi and all the other guests are in the hotel. And he's looking at the clock and the kid's still not there. Shabbat's in. So he's like, maybe whatever, he's secular. Maybe he's going to drive on Shabbat and just come here anyway. Nothing. Friday passes. Shabbat passes. The kid's not there. Motzei Shabbat. Calls him. No answer. Eventually on Sunday night after the seminar is over, he calls a mutual friend of this kid. Did you hear from him? It's like, you don't want to know. Why you don't want to know? They found his body on his couch after overdose. And he had a suitcase right next to his, ready for the seminar, right next to the couch. He was ready for the seminar, but he took some drugs before, and HaShem Elachem. So, this is obviously a real story, it's a shocking story, but the reality of the story is that it also puts this Mishnah in perspective. There's a few different things, there's a few different Mishnah that it connects to. Number one, there's one Mishnah where it says, don't say, Echtav ve'ashuv, don't say that you're going to make a sin today and then you're going to do tshuva, you're going to make a sin today and then you do tshuva. Because then Shemaim gets, in heaven they get very angry about that, and they won't let you do tshuva. Somebody says, I'm going to come do tshuva, and you waste everybody's time, you're not going to do tshuva. It's a very, very serious sin in Shemaim. That's number one. Number two, don't assume that you have tomorrow. No, tomorrow I'm going to study. Next week I'm going to study. Tomorrow I'm going to do this. Next week I'm going to do this. HaShem is ready today. Why aren't you? If you had a meeting with, some president of your company, president of the country you live in, he says, listen, I want to meet you tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. I tell him, listen, you know what? It's a little too early for me. Can we meet at 11? How about this? I'm actually kind of busy for you, Mr. President. Can we meet next week? You're not going to tell him that. Why? Because it's the president, because it's your boss, because it's somebody important. But the King of Kings, we treat him like he's one of our buddies. So, Hillel is telling us here that we can't treat HaShem like he's one of our buddies, but he also put it in a similar order. Why did he put the studying part as last? Because in the beginning he told you, first of all, you have to make sure that you're part of a community. Community can strengthen you. If you have a quality community, it can strengthen you. If it's a weak community, then you have to leave and you get a better one. But if you're a good quality community, it can strengthen you. But after you get strong, don't get too overconfident. Don't get overconfident. And because if you're overconfident, you're going to end up judging people. You're going to be very judgmental on other people when really you've never had their test. You've never had their test. It's like people, people that don't understand sick people. Because one thing that you can't see about sick people is you can't see pain. Can't see pain. So I remember when I was sick, I looked 100% normal. My face was normal, my arms were still in place, my legs were still in place, everything was 100% normal. It's not like when you have pain there's blood gushing everywhere like the movies. And people would look at it like, what's wrong? Like they wouldn't understand why can't he walk? Why can't he do this? Why can't he do that? Why does he scream every few minutes? Like people don't get it. People don't understand that part. And they think like in the beginning, like, oh, how come this guy didn't come to work for the last week? What do you mean he's in pain? He's just making it up. Because people like to judge, they like to assume, but until you've actually experienced something that somebody else has, don't judge them. Because 99% of the time you're going to be wrong.